Anywho, Jeskai Fire. So Fires, for those that have been keeping up with Standard, refers to this card, Fires of Invention. You can only cast spells during your turn. You can only cast 2 spells per turn. You may cast spells with converted mana cost equal to or less than the number of lands you control. So like if you have 5 lands, you can play 5 drops for free. We have Cavalier of Flames here as one of the things to dump mana into. So this card is a 6/5 that you can then spend your mana to give it and your other creatures haste right away. I'm not quite sure if I'm sold on Faerie Formation over the blue Cavalier, but this is kind of a neat mana sink. It's also a big flying body, so very similar in that aspect. There's no blue horse. We've got white horse, red horse, and then Faerie Formation here. So interested to see how this one goes. Got some adventure creature at the bottom end, Time Raveler, Royal Scions. We've got 4 Spyglass, 4 Mystical Dispute in the sideboard. I do wonder if playing 0 Aether Gust is correct. I think that card's potentially very good right now, very main deckable. So let's dive into some match with this one, see how it goes. Maybe we can get on the scoreboard and actually win some games at Standard today. Yeah, I don't understand why that deck would be good. Like, there's not a lot of, like, I guess shared summons and the other draw 5 are okay. And it feels weird to be like that mid-rangey slant. Yeah, maybe you could mainboard Spyglass. I could see that being reasonable. I guess. And this is, again, like, one of the reasons why the Oko decks are so good is because they get to play for once upon a time, they're just more consistent than all of these non-green decks. It's a big, big part of why those decks are just fundamentally better than, like, what this is doing. Nah, I think saying generically they shouldn't have plus abilities is silly.
I will learn what nobody yet knows.
Well, so far we're 3 for 3 on playing against Simic decks. Remember, even though, for people that don't follow Paper Magic, and one of the standard Grand Prix over last weekend, even though the Oko decks were only 30% of the starting metagame, they were 75% of the top 8. Like, that's an extreme differential. Oh, they're playing the Flash deck, which is also an Oko deck now. Well, so you got to remember the reason why they were such a low percentage to start is that Oko in paper is like $300 for a playset. And like, Grand Prix are not like all competitive players who are going to spend whatever they want. This matchup's probably awful for us, if I had to venture a guess. Our deck is full of expensive cards that we can only cast 1 of per turn. Our mana's also not cooperating currently. Looks like we're dead. The Possibility Storm deck was worth watching. I'm not going to tell you it went well, but it was good television. That deck looks like something you might enjoy. I'd recommend taking a peek at it. I'm going to bring in these disputes. Going to bring in some more sweepers. Click submit. I'm going to keep this, because even if we find a non-blue land, Fires lets us cast Teferi. I'm like, Teferi's real good in this matchup, so hopefully we just scry into a blue source and have 3 mana, turn 3 Teferi. Nothing but net, chat. Nothing but net. It just gives you 2 attacks, Jin.
I know my responsibility. Let's try this.
Yep, just playing it the way it's intended to be played. Fair and balanced.
I've got time. Sorry I'm late.
I think I'm just gonna play and plus this. So this way next turn I can get Faerie Formation down and start hitting that. I want them to not be able to counterspell me next turn, essentially.
That didn't go according to plan.
That feels sweet.
I'm known for my excellent timing. That's more like it.
Third Teferi's the charm. Ban discussions are boring, change my mind. It's not ban discussions that are boring, it's bad standard formats that are boring.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
It's weird to me that the blame for the current format being medium has largely been getting shifted onto the players. Like it's somehow the players' responsibility to make the format enjoyable. Players who are talking about bans are doing so because they feel upset that they can't play the game that they enjoy. Hey, glad you liked him, Coda Chris. So Cavalier is going to come down, discard a couple lands, give our squad haste and attack. Do I want Clarion in this matchup? Maybe I want Clarion in this matchup. It doesn't kill Wolf. Eh. Yeah, Clarion missing their key cards like their 2-drops grow out of size of it. No, my locals didn't have anything going on, and Illinois as a whole didn't have any state elections yesterday. We got us a blue governor in 2018. I mean, I think most people just know that, like, Modern's never going to change, so they're not worried about it. Are there 28 lands in this deck? There are, in fact, 28 lands in this deck. Wild. I live in Illinois. Indiana is traditionally Republican. I believe Illinois tends to be split. I believe this predates me voting, I believe, at least by a little bit, but I believe Illinois' last Democratic governor is now in jail, if I recall correctly. Alright, at least I don't have to discard the hand size now. So, I hate it when people are like, the state would be X if it wasn't for that darn place where all the people live. Like, yeah, the cities largely decide who gets to be their governor because that's where the people live, and that's how democracy works. Yeah, it wouldn't be X. It wouldn't be X if it wasn't for the majority of the population. Like, it's so weird to me. Land mass doesn't vote. Sorry, Republicans. Blacko went to prison for trying to sell Obama's Senate seat to an FBI informant. Man, that's like a special level of stupid. $28 lands later. And again, this is a very subtle reason why the green decks are so much better than the non-green decks. The non-green decks, or the green decks, getting to play copies of Once Upon a Time just makes them incredibly more consistent than what these decks can ever dream of doing. Yeah, Mythgard has way fewer non-games than Magic does. I agree we should burn Fires of Invention for a gem. I don't need 2 of them. Yeah, I'm interested to see if Mythgard can keep up their good designs for their 2 expansions next year. Alright, they're down to 3 cards here. So, like, if we draw some lands here, we might be able to power through these counterspells. All right, let's draw a land and go fires into Realm-Cloak. Magic's fun. I enjoy Magic. Not lethal. Looks lethal. I mean, we don't know that they weren't playing Oko. The blue-green flash deck, that. They didn't cast it, fair. But the blue-green flash deck that made the Mythic Championship cut was playing Okos in it. And again, like, the problem with green and standard, Oko's just very memeable, which is why it gets all the attention. But the fundamental problems with standard right now run way deeper than Oko. That's one of the reasons why it's so offensive, right? Because like there's a lot of things they could have done better or differently to make the current format much better. Yeah, the flash deck's really bad against good aggro decks, but good aggro decks are unplayable. There aren't good aggro decks, so, you know. Ooh, Blood Crypt. 4-color Oko. 4-color Oko. Hey, Kikuro, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Well, that's our third white source at least. So Cavalier of Dawn's going to be castable in 2 turns. Brazen Borrower's animation is very slick. I agree. It's like these pro teams are paid to break the meta. If only Wizards could afford a team of people to do the same. I mean, in Wizards' defense, after Kaladesh, they did hire a group of people to try and prevent things like this. And again, I can't stress this enough. The problem with the current standard format is not that we should expect there to never be issues, because Magic's got a lot going on in it, very complicated, etc., etc. The problem with the current standard format is that there are very obvious issues that were missed that they then haven't gone back and fixed. I am not upset that a problem happened. I am upset that they're leaving us rot with this problem for over a month. That's the problem. Oh, they could just be playing, it looks like they might just be playing the red-black Splash Once Upon a Time deck that we've played a bit of. Just received my benefits package for this year, and the cheapest family option is $700 a month with a $6,000 deductible, and even after all of that, it only covers 80%. But all those people that love their private health insurance, people love their private health insurance, right? That's what Joe, nothing will fundamentally change, Biden is fighting to protect, and what Donald Trump are fighting to protect. Extra sweeper, especially the cheap ones, will trim transfer glory here. Probably trim Royal Scions. Think we have a hard time protecting those. Seems fine. Actually, I probably want Kenrith as a way to gain life against the aggro deck. To me, the problem isn't necessarily insurance, it's healthcare costs without limits. Fundamentally disagree with you. Can you tell me a reason why there needs to be a million, or is it $billion industry turning profits off of sick people? Why is it necessary to make profits off of sick people? Because that's what you're defending there. That's what you're saying is necessary. You're saying it's necessary that we make a profit off of sick people. As long as it's privatized, the ultimate goal is to turn a profit, because that's what the private industry is looking to do. The private industry is not there to help you. It's there to make money off of you. That's how the world works. Because of Richard Nixon, before the early 70s, it was illegal to make a profit off of healthcare. Really? Is that true? That's wild. I mean, if you also get informed, Dr. Drew Brew, a lot of all of them, I don't want to say all, but I'm pretty sure most of the people that have Medicare for All plans include things like handling pricing like you're talking about. Because you're right, it's an all-in-one thing. Both things need to happen. There is a working public-private model. The Swiss model, public option exists as a baseline. And for people that can't afford other options, and if you can compete as a private company, you're still allowed to make a profit power. Are you sure? I guess I'm just playing Cavalier of Dawn. And killing this Priest of the Forgotten Gods. This kills their thing and leaves them a 3/3. My Nixon bit was incorrect. Please type me out. As you wish. Yeah, that felt significantly worse than playing a blue Cavalier here, huh? A 3/3 token isn't an elk. What's happening? I'm so confused. The full art golem is super sweet. I agree. A lot of the visual details of this application are very good and very well done. Makes me sad that standard's bad, which makes this application worse. They played Cauldron Familiar. We can no longer win the game anymore. Super, super dead. Both the Pioneer decks this morning were sweet. Standard's been a dumpster fire so far. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Let's get through all of them here. Like, they just get to drain us for 2 every turn. The reason to play White Cavalier is to combo with Cavalier of Flames killing them. Sure, so you, like, kill your own thing and, like, get another 3/3 and kill them. Like, I believe you, but, like, being all in on that plan seems kind of medium. Like, it feels like you're maximizing for when you're already winning. To rest this. People were complaining about non-game issues before the London Mulligan, and now people want to ban Once Upon a Time because it makes the good decks very consistent. Can you talk about your thought process about ideal games and variance? The variance needs to be balanced. The reason why the current setup, the reason why the current setup is bad is because only green decks are benefiting from the decreased variance. That's the issue. Like, the reason why green's better than everything else right now and every deck is green, and heck, decks like my opponents are splashing for Once Upon a Time, are because if you're not playing Once Upon a Time, your deck is fundamentally less consistent than the other options. I mean, I think you saying the blue Cavalier is there to try and grind shows a fundamental misunderstanding of what that card's doing. So you're giving up consistency for volatility, and I'm saying I would estimate that's probably not a worthwhile exchange. You're also worse off in situations where your opponents can be blocking, which is quite frequent. Like the current standard format is very creature based. I'm going to do this now while they don't have Oven available and get rid of one of these 3/3s. Thanks for the quarter of a year, Willie. Welcome back. Yeah, the evasion, excuse me, is also valuable as well. Agree with that. So I assume they're going to sack this to the Oven to counter my adventure creature. Alright, beep beep, let's go. Yeah, maybe I should have Spyglass in post-board. Nah, I'd ban around Oko, which is what I expect them to do too. I expect Wizards of the Coast will ban around Oko. I would be kind of surprised if they actually banned Oko himself. In the history of Standard, Wizards has never banned a current set Mythic. Which, there's nothing to say that can't change, but historically speaking, and not the crappy format, they've never banned a current set Mythic in Standard. They've banned Mythics in Standard, but not a current set Mythic. So everybody always mentions Aetherworks Marvel. Apparently people have shut out the fact that Aetherworks Marvel was legal for over a year. They did not. I did not see anything, Captain Command. If I didn't acknowledge it, I didn't see it. Sure, the shillings things I have a dashboard for that. So I don't have to acknowledge. And that's actually another reason why I'm no longer taking sub gifts for deck editions is bits, donations, and the shilling redeemings all have a dashboard that I can very easily pull up after the stream. I think you have to ban more than Goose. I think Once Upon a Time is a deeply offensive card that should not exist. It should not be legal in Standard or Pioneer. The team is pumped up. Yeah, do I want some spyglasses here? Is oven good enough that I just want a couple? I think it might be. Teferi's pretty mediocre here. Yeah, I'm gonna put 3 spyglasses in. Let's try that. I think Giants are bad in this matchup. I don't think that's true. Can you explain why instead of just tell me I'm wrong? Why do you think Giants are bad in the matchup where my opponent's playing Stormfist Crusader and Priest of the Forgotten Gods? For what it's worth, I think the people who are complaining about Veil of Summer, that complaining is largely unwarranted. The issue shouldn't be... The issue isn't that Veil of Summer exists and is good. The issue is that Veil of Summer is a main deckable card in how bad the current format is. That you're focusing on the wrong thing. In my opinion. I think these aggro matchups, we tend to win by punching them in the face, trying to clear their creatures out with Realm Giant. Means you're getting burned out for more and more. I mean, can you explain, Zero Gamer? Can you be constructive and specific? So don't give me vague generalities. So like, what that's in my sideboard right now, do you expect me to board in a matchup like this? Like how is your sideboarding different? What are you putting in that's currently in my board? Instead of me telling you you're wrong, Dolomite, tell me why you're right. Explain to me why your approach is the correct one. Well, ain't that a bag of dicks? Nice spyglass, yep. The we can't tax the rich because they'll get around it is a bad faith argument, and you should not engage with anybody who's willing to try and make that argument. Yeah, I think Rampage is great. Concur. Rampage is very reasonable. All right, Fires plus Clarion. Let's go. Correct. Yes. Anybody who starts their basis for a reason why we shouldn't do something, as we shouldn't do this because it won't cover every edge case scenario. Progress isn't perfect. Progress doesn't happen in a day. progress is gradual throughout over the course of time. So we have just cabbed the oven there. No, I think that's bad in the event that they draw a removal spell. I think I'm just bidding that. Am I saying that rich people won't try to evade taxes? That's not what I said at all. Those were, and that's like, things like, hey, look, that's a gift sub. Who's surprised that something that stupid came out of the mouth of a gift sub? Get out of here. Imagine listening to me say that it won't cover everyone, so that doesn't mean it's not worth doing, and being like, oh, so you're saying it won't happen? No, I literally just said, the words that just came out of my mouth was, it'll happen. But if you actually listen to what I said, that wasn't the entirety of my statement. And again, that's where bad faith and bad actors come from. So like this turn, we kill our own fires. Yeah, probably. We can Cavalier for free, and then we can Cavalier, kill this, and then Clarion lifelink attack. Sure, so you're saying if it had been Chance for Glory, they're dead. So this is a classic example of a win more situation. So like, if that had been Chance for Glory, why, like, is it necessary? Like, do I need that card to win the game? Do I need this card that's very narrow in application to win this game now that I'm all going to win otherwise? I'm just tired of you telling me I'm wrong without explaining it, so bugger off. I don't have the patience for that today. I don't need someone to backseat game without taking 30 seconds to explain why what they're saying is correct. I guess I could have killed this and gotten my fires back. I agree. Chance for Glory is generally speaking a win more Magic the Gathering card. It is a card that is only good when you're already ahead. Most often. So with this land draw, we can play this and gain 5, so that sounds great. Yeah, I agree. The opponent has been making small mistakes. They should wait till their turn to bring the cap back in case they draw Mayhem Devil, as someone in chat just pointed out. 10 out of 10 agree with that sentiment. Next turn, this gives trample, and then we kill them. Were they dead to trample this turn? They might have been dead to trample this turn, actually. They wouldn't have been able to block sack. Yeah, he would have given himself haste and trample. I think they were dead to trample that turn. I don't know. They're super dead to it next turn still. Like I said, this feels like a good example of like why Chance for Glory seems largely unnecessary. Correct. No wrong way to eat this, Rhesus. Oh, it doesn't even put it back into play? God, this card is so bad. I just assumed that I was going to put that enchantment right back into play. Any predictions for the Pro Tour this weekend? Oko as far as the eye can see. I've been productive, time for water. I always forget I have bits to go to a deck. Can they all go to Pioneer Niv? They definitely can, Rhino. I'll make a note of that. All of Rhino's bits to Pioneer Niv. Sure. Is Kenrith better than Red Cavalier? I don't think so. Just because Red Cavalier helps us filter through our deck to draw cards as well. My prediction, you want an actual prediction for the PT? Here's an actual prediction. Suno Tam, thanks for the 10 months. Welcome back. I think the groups of people who are going to show up without Oko decks aren't actually going to have decks that are good against the Oko decks. They're just going to be better Magic players, which means they might win some amount with it. And in the hands of normal human beings, the Oko decks are still going to be incredibly overbearing. Hey, look, another oven deck. Thanks for the 10 months, Crockett, or the 100 bits. It's been a day. Oven with Priest makes Bonecrusher super awkward. Because they get to sack this, then I don't get my 4/3. The aggressive decks in this format have a hard time beating Wicked Wolf and Friends. Is the issue with them. We did find a use for Chance for Glory, you're not wrong. Looking pretty good here. Looking for an untapped land. I think I'll take a Bonecrusher Giant, sure. So we're going to ditch Fires and Passage here, I think. That's a pretty good one. This card seems sweet in here. Yeah, 4 mana make a 1/1's not good, but this draws a card as well, which makes it seem pretty reasonable. Well, they're going to get to draw a lot of cards here. Should I give Cavalier of Flame trample?
My sister by my side. I do not fear the unknown.
Strike fear into the hearts of the wicked.
I could Cavalier of Dawn, kill this, and get super aggressive here. I don't know if that's necessary, though. They can first strike 2 so they can't double block it. Yeah, I'm just going to smack them here and see what they do. I think they're just cashing these into draw cards. They're gonna get to draw 4 here, right? There it is. Turning those into card draws now, because if they don't block, their health total is going so low that like they can't afford to have the Midnight Reapers on board anymore. If I pump twice there, they'd take 4 more, which was not quite lethal. It was 1 short of lethal, right? Trim the Planeswalkers. Yeah, Brazen Borrower seems kind of medium. We'll leave in the chance for glories this time. See if they end up being anything other than cute. Would like to say, what I should have said was refusing to engage people who cite historical data for tax increases over future estimates, the type of people we should be engaging. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. And we have not been our ride with this 28 land deck has not been very good. Here's a question for people that have played other games. Is Magic the Gathering the only game out there that does targeted discard like this? Are there Are there other...
No? Go get him, buddies.
No, what I said, Sal, I said you shouldn't engage with people who tell you that the only reason who tell you that something's not worth doing because it doesn't cover all scenarios. Those are the words that I said. Because there's nothing is perfect and progress is iterative. It doesn't happen instantaneously. Man, can I just take Cavalier plus Clarion here? I feel like I just have to do this and hope to draw land next turn. Yeah, a lot of other games do target player discards a card, but not look at your hand and take one. Bump Emery Ascendancy will do Sly Croissant. Thank you for that.
Go get him, buddies.
Here's hoping, Sky. Yeah, I believe Eternal has targeted this card because Eternal's a bad magic clone. I believe that the bad magic clone has targeted this card. All right, kill your board, gain 8. Let's do it. Have a good one, Mean Bean.
I'm late to meditation anyway.
So Pokemon has something similar. Yeah, Eternal employs a bunch of Magic players. LSV, Patrick Chapin, Patrick Sullivan. Does have to blow up something? Up to 1, sure. All right, 11 power, go. That's a good call, Kurt, isn't she? Playing the Fabled Passage out proactively in case they stick a Mayhem Devil is good. Look at that. We've played against a bunch of non-Oko decks. We're winning matches. Is that what this feels like? I'd almost forgotten, chat. It's been so long. What is this fresh non-Oko hell? All right, so they're playing the Flash deck here. Nope. Oko deck with the slow draw. You can't sell Eldraine without me. Feels Flash deck, man. Ten out of 10 the Flash deck. So we've hit non-food decks, but we've only played against 3 decks in 6 matches now. Played 2 flash, 2 aristocrats, 2 food. Started in earnest at my new job making houses. Looking pretty with the help of Adobe. Put these towards Abzan Hero. Will do, Rhino. I appreciate the support. Nah, I think we're just supposed to kill their stuff right away. Or just try and stick it. I put a stop at the end step in case they flashed in a creature at my end step so I could Bonecrusher it. Thanks for the 5 months time, Wizard. I mean, the Planeswalker redirect rule doesn't really fundamentally change anything. All the cards that could previously be redirected were errataed. So, I don't understand why you would be upset with that. Do I play the land? I don't know if I can play the land. Do I play the post-mystical dispute Land of Shame? Don't do it. Hold it back. Don't do it. Hello, Mikey. You know, honestly, I think I'm just ignoring fires at this point, just like getting threat density here. How's Pioneer this morning? Great, chat. We had another good run with the Eldrazi deck, and we played a Teamer Prowess deck that was pretty slick. I assume we're going to see a 4/4 come down here. Standard staple Faerie Formation. Yeah, everything goes on YouTube, Endo. Actual everything. Yep. Have a stick, Jin. Alright, if this... I guess this just gives me a window to do this, huh? Maybe I'm not supposed to trade my giant off there if I'm planning to realm cloak this turn. Because my 4-3 would have lived through this because it was a giant. Second night pack is a little brutal. Here's my 7/7. Worth noting too, like, this getting tempoed would be less bad if we had if it had been a blue Cavalier. I appreciate that, Elemental Whisperer. Thanks for keeping me around. Thanks, Percy. And like a frilled mystic. The play patterns in this format just really kind of suck, huh? It's not, and it's like, this feels like Brawl, like people are complaining about Oko and Brawl, but like, I don't know, we're not even playing against Oko, and like, it's just not fun. I don't know, it's just, I feel beat down, chat. I feel... defeated. Defeated's a good descriptor. The fact that my entire mouth is currently killing me from my latest Invisalign tray from a couple of days ago still doesn't help either. Thanks for the 36 months, Sunsaru. Ethereal UK, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back. We started with 2 Pioneer decks today, Humble Greek. We've been live for over 5 hours. Well, I mean, this hand's great till we miss our 3rd and 4th land drop. We have a temple and we got 28 lands, so fingers crossed. Not a good start. I don't even know that I'd blame it on being snowbally. I don't think a format being snowbally is an inherently bad thing, because like the alternative to snowbally is like big swings like mass manipulation and command the Dreadhorde. I think the biggest issue with this format is how skewed the play versus the draw is. That feels to me like the biggest thing. And like the play versus the draw gets skewed for a variety of reasons. Why not shock that in? Why do I need to shock in the land? What does that accomplish? I'm not gonna jam this into a counterspell here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and pass, and then next turn I can play this with Mystical Dispute up, potentially. Yeah, I just don't think we need to do both of those things, basically. All right, since I drew another Fires, I'm just going to let that quench happen. Yep. Double dispute for them. They had a quench for the first one. That's fine, opponent. Joke's on you. I didn't want to resolve my spells anyways. None of your cards can get turned into elks if none of your cards resolve, chat. There are 1,000 different ways you can approach it, Lord Aaron. Let's try one more. Really? Gameplay? Their deck doesn't beat aggro. Their deck's fine because aggro doesn't exist. It's been pushed hard to the format, by and large. Man, if I'm being honest, Ruin, if I would have known, I guess I just should have assumed that physically moving my bones was going to be incredibly uncomfortable. But if I would have known what I know now, I would have just left my teeth screwed up. I've already invested the 5 grand to get my teeth picked, so like we're gonna slog through it over the next year. But dear Lord, is it awful? Does not feel good. Reynad is the username of the person who owns Tempo Storm. I don't know if this is actually Reynad or if it's just like someone who's a fan of him who took the username when Arena started.
Right on schedule.
Pain his teeth leaving the body. Yep. I mean, I didn't get my teeth fixed for cosmetic reasons. I'm like almost 30 and overweight. Like I could care less what my teeth look like. The reason I decided to do the Invisalign because it keeps your mouth healthier to have your teeth not jacked up. Because they're easier to keep clean.
Only a fool stands in my way. Pain is weakness, leaving the body.
Pain is weakness leaving the body. $30 and overweight's a great autobiography for me. Although these the Invisalign might help me lose weight too. My teeth have hurt so much the last 2 days that I just skipped eating breakfast in the morning. So that's something, I guess. Multifunctional, yep. Yeah, I guess we'll just Bonecrusher Giant. It might be right to, like, bounce this Mayhem Devil. I don't know, I get to hit them down to 13 and, like, hit Vraska to dead.
Oh, the day is yours.
That's like my yearly diet plan, get horribly sick and lose 10 pounds.
Time to step out of the shadows.
Alright, so they're super dead. Yeah, it's definitely cut down on my snacking time, Jin. I don't, you know, as an American with lots of food around and children who half eat things, I would frequently finish their things and snack randomly. But that's not an option with these things in. Someone said this is Tempo Storm, Reynad. Like the first like 3 days after putting a new tray on Jin, it's real bad. You checked an archive, it says account. Alright, sweet. I probably don't want that. I might just click submit here, honestly. Maybe I want the Clarions to randomly life gain. Maybe those are better than the Giants. How often do you have to switch trades for the new ones? Every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. The first 2 trays I did just slipped on over my teeth. When I went to get the third tray, they put little beads on my teeth to help move them. So this last tray's been more brutal than the first 2. It's the first one with the beads on it. Wonder if all the ones moving forward are going to be like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure names are unique on Arena. Which is weird that you have the challenge tag after it too if the names are unique. Sure. All of our colors, fires plus drawn from dreams, sounds good. Challenge tag prevents random people from spamming you. Not really. People can't spam you even if they have the challenge tag. Because it only comes up if you both enter it. How has this deck been? A little middling. I think this is worse than the... I think it's worse than the Jeskai Fires list that we've played before with a bunch of Clarions in the main and the blue Cavaliers. I think is like my takeaway at the moment.
Trust me, you'll thank me later. Don't worry.
I don't know. I feel like if the usernames were not unique, there would definitely be fake Jeff Oglands out there by now, and I'm pretty sure there's not. I don't want Jeff to blow in Hoagland now. So I assume Vraska will go up and Druid will kill Teferi here.
Or quiet, sometimes sacrifice is necessary.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
None of those are red Cavalier, unfortunately. I'll take white. I think I'll take Bonecrusher here. I'm gonna take the Fabled Passage, actually. Because I think in the event that they can kill this Fires next turn, I want to be able to cast Cavalier of Dawn.
Being ruthless has its
What if they're playing the straight 3-color build and they're not splashing for Oko? Yeah, they might not be splashing for Oko. Weird. Are they dead? This does 8, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and I can chance for glory. Yeah, I believe they're dead. I'm gonna chance using the fires. Chat, I'm gonna chance using the fires. So now we hit them for 8, we chance, and then on our next turn we kill them. Yeah, there's probably a different way to slice that killed them, but Vraska can't kill fires. It's not a legal play for her. Yeah, I don't know. Like, Chance for Glory's like cute there, but like we're probably winning without it too. I like the pile of Sorcerous Spyglass in the sideboard, even if we didn't get to find any Oko in that set. I think that's a good idea. I think probably not playing Aether Gust is likely bad. I think overall I prefer the blue Cavalier builds to this. This build basically like trading off some of the consistency that other build has in its Cavaliers being able to draw each other for this little bit more explosive combo focus. And I'm not sure if this combo focus is really a worthwhile, meaningful upgrade. Hey, thanks for the 7 months, Bellathor. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, we're going to go ahead and roll a quick